first ever video. I'm not really sure what kind of content I'll be doing ever on this channel because, frankly, first video. And hopefully I'll be doing less serious topics later on, but I've been stockpiling a list for like a year now, and I'll just get through them eventually, I guess. The first topic of the video. I'm guessing most people know what Squid Game is. I would really doubt if you didn't. And for the few of you who know even less, there was a game released on Steam under a year ago called Crab Game. It was your typical cheap knockoff, but it was designed that way, and it was actually, I mean, it might sound backwards, but as cheap and crappy as it was actually a load of fun. Because it was one thing at that time that most other games wasn't, and that was finished. It did have bugs in it, obviously, but I feel like it was more finished than Vanguard at that point, considering they were both released around the same time. It was your typical crappy game. It was made by the same same guy who made Muck. I don't know if anybody ever played that game. I did upon its day of its release, actually. I'm kind of proud of that. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. It had all the same games as Squid Game. And a few others, but there were two major downsides and problems with it, and one of them is still going on today. First up, the pre-drip era. Now, the pre-drip era came before that just means it was released before all the like merchandise and stuff was, so no hats, no shoes, no anything like that. So I'll just default avatars, and I think that was peak Crab Game because that was when a lot of streamers were playing with it. That was before people figured out how to double jump and maximize races and stuff. I think that was like peak Crab Game. That's when I had the most fun with it. And I think that's mainly because nobody was good, and if you were good, you were like a god. And there was only like 3 gods of it. There was God of Movement, Moist Critical, and like one other guy, I forgot his name. Like there were only like 3 people who were actually like good at Squid or Crab Game. But very quickly after, in the after drip era, aka after drip was released, I feel like the game quickly started going downhill. Now, this isn't the developer's fault by any means yet, but the game itself became sort of stale after drip was released. And now with the drip release update, it actually it brought in a few new modes and a few new maps, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit still. It brought in the Christmas update. But that would be the last update we ever got. And I mean that. This was the last time I think the game's actually had a major update to this day. It's had small bug fixes, but other than that, it hasn't been touched by the developer. And I didn't really expect them to, because this game was made as just sort of a cheap, not a money grab because it's free, but it was just kind of made for fun back when Crab Game was doing its thing. So I can't say I'm surprised he's kind of letting it go, but it is sad because it was so fun. And as I went back and played it quite a bit to get knowledge for this video, but I really do find that this that it's gone just sort of downhill from what it was. There's a lot of sweats. I don't think you can go a server without finding a hacker, since the anti-cheat, there isn't one. The only anti-cheat there is to tell the host and hope the host kicks them. That's the only anti-cheat that's actually in the game. And I am kind of sad to see that this game's fallen so far. It's just it's like Team Fortress 2 now, where it's full of hackers and doesn't even get touched by the developers. But I hope someday, maybe not. I don't think it really needs any updates. I just think that it was fun to see how it turned out and what a meme sort of turned into over time. And yeah, that's about it. I think that's all my thoughts on Crab Game. I genuinely don't know what I'll be posting next, so don't bother subscribing.